Hello, friends. So let us begin our journey to spirituality. Yeah, I have a lot of questions people are asking. There's a very intellectual briefings and intellectual exchange of views about this subject. And I suddenly realized that people who react with me is from different faiths, like Christian, Muslim, and also a few of Hindus. So, because I want to speak about the religions, whatever I think about. Why do we have many religions when they all speak about there's one God, and then going the to the ultimate aim of salvation of your soul, and then why do we have so many religions? What is the purpose for all these religions? So, as I said before, no, the source of knowledge is only from one place. This that cannot be from different places. That is the reason why, if you take the gist of the any religious belief, it is all about the supernaturality of the creator. And then there are stories, that because history of history is that it started all from mouth to mouth. So somebody is saying this happened so and so place, and then somebody will listen to it, and then when he tell to others, there's a there's a lot of changes in communication classes. They normally do that as a demonstration. They stand in line and somebody says something, and then they say something, and then at the end the message will be completely distorted. So this is what actually happened to most of the religions. This is because of the I would say clergydom. That means, human beings, we love our earthly life. We want to crave for more power, more money, and more acceptability, all that, no matter how it is, whether it is righteous or not. So this is the reason why in religions there is a conflict between the religions. Why should we have conflict between the religions? See, for example, if I say I'm a Muslim and my religion is Islam, this is the word is just the Arabic word for that particular religion. It is not that particular. This is one religion. For example, when it was revealed through Jesus Christ, then those who followed that, we say that is Christianity. And like Moses, when the Jewish people had followed him as their prophet, and then when he got the Torah, which is actually also a scripture, and then we call them as Judaism, or so that is in Hebrew. Yeah, Torah is in Hebrew. And then if you come to India, for example, when this same religion of the Sanatana Dharma, which came to a country, India, and this that time it is called as Hindu Kush, and the word in Sanskrit is called as Upanishads, Vedas. Actually, they are if you see the time frame, that is what, like in the Quran it says that David had Zabur, and Musa had Taurat. So Upanishads is maybe the Psalms, which has come earlier than that, and the Vedas actually is from Torah. Now we can really differ on that, in the sense that no, because Hinduism is not Islam and Islam is not Hinduism. Islam is in Arabic word. I just want to emphasize on that, because we have more different religions because the names only changes. Like now in human beings also, no, we call it Indians, we call it blacks, whites, different kinds of countries you come from, and we have the passport called as Indian passport, but we are all human. Similarly, for humanity, there's only one religion, and because there's only one creator, so there's only one religion. Now, because I was, as I said, no, because where you are born, and then that whatever the environment that you conceived with your senses, then you say, okay, this is the religion, this is my religion. Now, the biggest issue I see is from the clergydom, because in all the scriptures it says that you should not sell the religion for very cheap price. Like, we are actually becoming Judas to the God, because the scriptures, all the scriptures are from one source. And when people sit in meditation, like Buddha, when he got the revelations, and then he went to the people and he started teaching about vipassana, and then we call it Buddhism. But because the people around him, they call, okay, this is a Buddha and this religion is from Buddha, so it is not so. And like Abrahamic, we call it is Abrahamic religion. Abrahamic religion is what? The same thing what we talk about Prahlad in Hindu mythology, that Hiranyakashipu was put him in the fire, and the fire became cold on him. He did not die in the fire. And this is the same story about Abraham. So when the story of Abraham was told in Sanskrit language, so the names changed. Like Namrud we call Nimrud, we call Namrud, and this is Hiranyakashipu. So if you see the meanings, I'm not a linguistic person, and I do not know much of the language meanings and all that. If somebody can actually check the Abraham and Prahlad, is the meaning the same? Because when I see it, like the reincarnations of Vishnu, is mostly these are the names, the names of the gods that we have in Sanskrit in India. It is, if you take the attributes of God in Arabic meaning, and if you take the same thing, the meaning in Sanskrit, and it matches very well. It matches very well. Now, see, the Hindu religion, they say that there are three gods. I mean, those one who created that's Brahma, then one who maintains, and so why is that happened? Even in Christianity also, no, they also went for three gods or something, and then they say this is how it is. Now some people differ on that, but go to the gist of it, and you realize that this is nothing but one religion, but in different names, in different cultures. Now, another thing, one of the today's most important discussion I had is with one of my friend, who is asking me that if the faith is already set for a soul in a human being or whatever, then how can you do whatever you do in your life, whether you do good or you do bad, how it is going to affect it? Because your end faith is already it's already decided by the power, by God or whatever you call it. And my answer is that, listen, now when you go for an examination, like in a class, like in one of the classes in the school, I can say that an example. If you go to school, you go for 1 year for one class, or at least 10 months, whatever, and then he has a monthly test, and that is giving him a warning. Okay, listen, your marks is like this, huh? You have to improve it, right? Okay, now you cannot play around much. Okay, now then comes quarterly examination, then every month there is test, then the half yearly examination, then after 9 months again another test, and then we have the final examination. So till final examination, there were a lot of assessment is done on your behavior, or how you are, keeping your life going to the righteousness to pass the examination. You have to attend the classes properly, you have to do your homework properly, you have to do your classwork properly, you have to do your projects properly, you have to go to the laboratory and do your test there, and at the end. But when you are going for the final exam or any examination, you do not know what is the result of it. So this result is the fate. Now it's already set here, because why? The God has that knowledge. This is the God's domain. We don't have to go into his domain and question him, because we have no choice. As I told you in my earlier videos, we have no choice on these things. If I had a choice, I would not have born in that particular place, no, and with that poor family, poor mother, and uneducated mother, and I would have chosen to go to some other country, or in Manhattan, to be born in Manhattan. I'll be very happy about it, and then my life will be far better than that. But this choice is not there, because as I said, no, the time, matter, and the space is already set. That means even your fate may be already set. I said maybe already set. But a person who really looking into that fate factor, he can change it according to your, if I change or not. If I am thinking that okay, I'll be go to the hell, so what the hell, I'll do all the bad things. This is the only choice that I have. How do I know my fate is good or bad? How do I know? I do not know. Anybody knows that? No, don't know. They say that the condition of your Atma at the end of your perishable, end of your body, when it is completely perished, what is the stage that time? Like in your examination, until you get your result, you do not know what is your fate. And even after you get your examination, after you get your result, then that also is a grade A or A plus or B, B plus, C, C plus, and those who get D, they are doomed. Or now they say there is no passing examinations in our Kerala and all that. There's a government do. I don't know in other places, and so it is the same anyway. Why is somebody is getting A plus? He did not know whether he will get A plus or B plus or C plus, and you are very happy you got A plus, and then you keep saying that, yeah, I did everything good. I was doing that, I was doing this, I did all my work, and that becomes a habit formation. That is where the behavioral pattern, your body is made for that, your brain is made for that. It creates a pattern of your behavior, and that will boost your this is the experience that will boost you to do better and better. Yeah, why somebody is always in the rank list in the first, because they have some confidence. And this is what I also think about the fate. So let us not, like, if I know that when I will die, as I said before, and I live like, this is why that factor is hidden from you. In scriptures it says that your rizq, in our Arabic we call it, your food or your convenience, whatever is, you do not know about that, and you do not know the time of your death. You do not know what is your fate is going to be. Now I can argue again, okay, again you are saying my fate is already decided by God. So what the hell? What kind of a God is that? He's not doing justice to anybody. Actually, he is doing justice to us to purify our soul, because this soul, first time when it came to the earth, it has transformed a lot. We like the life on earth, and we want to do anything possible to make it more happier. Actually, we are trying to build the heaven here, and this doesn't happen. People who had made a lot of money, ask anybody, are you happy? They say, yes, I am very happy. It is happiness, because your journey to your soul only can bring happiness to you. When you talk about the happiness, no, people sit there doomed and say, I'm not happy because, I don't have that, I don't have this, and I had an accident, I had this, I had that. And then what about my fate? They say, okay, this is your fate, you have to go through an accident. And why is that? what happens to you when something bad happens to you? What happens to you feeling when something bad happens to you? When the bad happens to you, this is can be you take it like a lesson and you say, okay, next time I have to be a little more careful. So I will not repeat that again. Everybody know what is right and wrong. There's no need to tell about what is right and wrong. Everybody knows. Now somebody asked the Prophet Muhammad, how do I know what is halal and haram? Haram means something that is righteous. Haram is something that is not righteous. Okay. So he said, whatever you do or you say, if you don't mind others knowing it, you don't mind if others know it. Like, I do some charity, and if people comes to know about it, it's okay. I'm happy. They're also happy about it. But don't do it just to show off. Then that is another problem there. Now, or something that you do which you don't want others to know. So this is the transparency part of it. Like, we talk about the SWOT. That is the strength and weakness and opportunities and the threats. So in that window we say that make it smaller to the other end, and so your strength become more strong. And think about the people who are very transparent. A name that comes to my mind is like our Gandhiji, yeah, Mahatma Gandhi. We call it Mahatma Gandhiji. Look at him; he is so transparent. There is nothing that he can hide. We are not transparent. I am not transparent at all. I still have thoughts, and I do things that I don't want others to know about it. And when at home I may be speaking about that person, this person, which they hear, it is not very good. So if somebody put a video in my room or in my living room, and then he play that to that person I'm talking about, and how it will be? Or somebody come and tell you, hey, so and so said about you like this. You don't like it, right? So and there is another saying also, what you don't like for yourself, you don't like it for your other human. I don't want too much noise around my house. And that means, when I put my TV a little louder and my son come and say, hey, you're too loud. What about the neighbors? No, they may not like it. And that's the time I realized, oh yeah, it is too loud. Okay, you reduce it. Now, when your neighbor do the same thing, you don't like it. So, realize that. This is how you go step by step, this journey to the spirituality. The spirituality is not that it happens just one day and you die with, your high. So the aim of spirituality is to release our soul to a better place, for a better living. Now, there was another question that was about, then why good people are getting punished and the bad people are very happily living in this world? Why is that? So what about the God saying? The God says that the good things and the bad things is for you as a test. It's an examination. Your questions are there. Some questions I know I am very confident because I have prepared for that. Some questions I did not prepare well, but this was there in your 1 year syllabus. Can somebody say, oh, I didn't study because I didn't like it? Like I had this problem with my last son, no? He doesn't like mathematics. He doesn't like chemistry. He want to be like, in the film making and things like that. So I told him, my dear friend, you just have to pass the examination. You get the minimum mark and pass. Because if you don't pass, then it is more stress for you. So you just do the examination well, and after that we can streamline to what you want to do. The maths you don't like it, okay, that's fine. That is nothing wrong that. There's no forceful about it. But this will help you in your future life. So like that, our choice is only on that. Our choice is not about the fate. Our choice is not about the result of the examination. That is in somebody's hands. If somebody, now you after the examination, the test and everything is over, no, the students can go for a what do you call that, no, test, writing the, I mean, re-examination, not the test actually, the marks. And then somebody say, okay, they get more marks. Sometimes they don't get more marks. Why all this? Because how much we prepare ourselves, understanding, okay, this is my behavioral pattern and I have to change it. In order to change that, I have to interfere with my behavioral pattern, because your brain tells you, hey, listen, your fate is already set. Then why the hell you want to work, huh? Why do you want to do good, huh? Why? If you do like that, what happens to our life then? What happens? Now, some people, they quit the life. They they think that all the problems are solved if I die. How do we know that? What happens? Like in the sleep, when you are sleeping, this is a good example. God is telling you every day it is telling you, hey, listen, you are not permanent on this earth, huh? When you sleep, it is automatically happening. And when you have some trouble sleeping, then you go to a doctor and they give you sleeping pills. Now somebody asked me that, when I said about this sleep factor, that your soul is taken by God when you are sleeping, then he said there are people who cannot sleep for 1 month, 2 months, like they don't sleep at all because they have some mental issues, some psychiatric issues. I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know. Why is that? Okay, that means his soul is there more time that he is not taking. Why is that? I do not know. That you have to ask the person who is the God himself, why it is not being taken. Huh? Like that, there are so many examples that comes in between us. When he doesn't sleep, how arrogant he becomes. If you don't sleep, your body, your mind, everything really gets disturbed. There's a lot of disturbance for you about it. Okay, when you sleep, what happens to you? You do not know whether you are in this earth or not. I see a lot of dreams, that I can float in the air, like nobody else can float. And I'm telling my friends, and I feel so happy after I get up out of the sleep. And then sometimes I see very horrific dreams, and I may be making noise, and my wife will be say, hey, what happened to you? What happened? Oh my God! And I had a very horrific. So these are the things that God wanted you to know. Why are we not thinking about it? If you are not thinking about these happenings around you every day, and you don't correct yourself to pass the examination, whom do you going to blame? About your fate? Let the fate be whatever. See, God says something. Okay, the fate is already set. Fine, no problem. But God says that you do good and I'll reward you good. Yeah, you study well, you will pass your examination. So we can see from the people from here what kind of a person or what kind of a condition of his soul will be. Another person asked me the question is that whether the animals have the soul or not. I think the animals have the soul. Animals have the soul. But that may be the lowest level. I told you about the grade about our soul, the condition of our soul. Maybe. See, I don't want to be like an animal. Huh? Nobody wants to be like an animal. When you're an animal, it has a very set kind of behavior for it. From life till death. Very set. The dogs, they behave the same way. The cats, they behave the same way. Yeah. So that means they are put into a condition. Our soul, the souls may be put into a condition where they do the same thing going on like that, and then they can probably come to the next level. Like even you think about the dogs also. I'm saying that a dog which is born in a big family, in a very wealthy family in the US, for example, or in the Western countries, if they see a stray dog, they go and hug them and take them, so they give them food and all that. But in our place, if you see a stray dog, you just throw stones on them, or make them to go away and things like that. Not all the human beings love the animals. So I asked them, now what is love? What is love? Now I talk about love. What is love? If you have a conditional love, it is not a love. So I asked, can you love a snake? What? Love a snake? Are you crazy or what? It will bite you. It is poisonous. You still love the snake because it has a life, because it has a soul. Huh? Why not? But you know how the snake is. Huh? You know how the snake is. If you go nearer, it can bite and it is poisonous. But because of that, do you want to kill it? The snakes, these venomous animals, from where from they manufacture the venom in their body, they actually grasp it. Take it from our environment. So it is doing a good service to us, to the whole environment, the whole atmosphere actually, because it is sucking, it is taking away all the poison from the air, from the environment. This is good for us, otherwise we'll be having problems. So don't kill it. Now I want to ask, okay, I love snakes, so can I take the snake in my hand and say, oh snake, please don't bite anybody, you're a bad boy, why you are biting everybody? You have venom in your mouth, and then if you bite, it's very difficult, and when the people die, their family will be in suffering, and also don't bite. Can you do that? You cannot do that. Then, but still love it the way they are. Same way, if we love the people the way they are, it will help them as well as help us, help me also. If I know this is how my wife behaves, okay, this is she can meet my expectations to this level only, that's fine. So you go on living. Don't break the relationship. Like my father told me something, I don't like it, and then he said, okay, you're a bad boy, I will not give you anything. So this reward and punishment is in everything, whether it is in love, whether it is in resources, whether it is in relationships, whether it is in there. We avoid people. So who is responsible for that? God is responsible for that. Now, as I told you, there are areas which are not having any choice with us. But once you are born and then you are given the intelligence, and then you are going your life step by step, that is where your choice is there. You decide, as I told you in my last video, when you are born crying, what you want, how you want to die. Do you want to die smiling and let others cry, or you want to die like people say, oh God, this fellow is gone, thank God. We say sometimes, if some cruel king or some cruel people die, we may say, oh, what a good riddance. In English, we say, what a good riddance. This choice is with us. If we fail in that choice, then what happens to us? So this suffering on earth is because of the stage of our soul, and God really want you to uplift. This is very clearly said in Quran, that God want you to uplift your stage, your level of your living condition, but you are going and clutching to the earth. I don't want to go. I want only earth. So this realization, this impermanence of life is the most important factor. This understanding that our soul is above all is, even our intellect, and it is in the control of God. That is why when we sleep, we do not know where we are. We do not know anything about us. So that is a greatest factor towards the spirituality, journey to spirituality. Thank you very much.